Literally no longer than a year and a half ago, I was doing 1 and maybe 2 cars out of my drive each week. But today I'm now fully booked out for 3 weeks in advance. I'm also charging double than what I did last year. And the thing is, I didn't even do it by working harder. I did it by doing 4 specific things, and when I look back now, it almost feels unfair. So in this video, I'm going to break down those 4 things for you so you can copy it and apply it to your own business. If you don't know me, my name is Adam and I run a detailing business in the UK. And this year I'm on target to do over 6 figures in revenue. I also run a separate business called the Finer Details Club, where I help other business owners, specifically detailers, to help grow their own business both sustainably and over the long term so they can reach their own financial goals as well. So this isn't coming from a guy who's never done this sort of work. I do it every day and still continue to do so. I've made just about every mistake you can make. I've tested every product you can try. I've made small incremental changes with my business to fine tune it to see what truly works. So this isn't theory, this is the exact stuff that moved the needle for me. Before I get into the 4 principles, I think it's quite clear from speaking to loads of detailers, especially here in the UK, that most people think growing a detailing business is a linear process. For example, people think you do more jobs and you make more money, and that's how it generally goes. But that couldn't be more wrong in actual fact. But the reality is that's exactly how you burn out within your business. What's the point of ending up doing 60-hour weeks because you're doing more jobs, but you end up earning less than a barista at Costa? And not to mention all the other stuff that comes with running a business. So it's not about more work, it's about something much more than that. I think it's a general consensus about stacking good decisions up and sort of creating a loop within those decisions. And if you have multiple loops, that's basically a never-ending process that sort of automates itself. Let me just give you one quick example. Basically every detailer I know spent a significant amount of time just quoting for jobs. For example, you get a message through WhatsApp, they want to book in, you have a back and forth about dates, pricing, location, these sorts of things. And all in all, it can take, on a good occasion, like 20 minutes or so, which is a lot of time. And in this realm of work, admin does not make you money. It can put you in a position to make more money, but the actual act of admin doesn't make you the money. So naturally, you as the detailer and the business owner have got to try and find a way to tie up that loop. That's not time spent efficiently. So a great thing you can start to implement perhaps in your website, for example, is a live price calculator. People put what service they want, what size vehicle they have, where they're located, and your vehicle will automatically update with a price, telling them exactly how much it will cost, and then they can decide to book there. That is one simple thing that may take an hour of coding. Add it to your website and it's just saved you hours of work every single week. And that's just a very niche example, but it is one that does work, and I've proven it to myself that it works because I still use it on my site. Now I want you to multiply that thinking across every single part of your business and you will see your business grow tenfold. Every decision either has to be a loop or a trade-off, and the guys within this industry that I've seen who make the most money are the ones relentlessly chasing closed loops and not the trade-offs. With that said, let's jump into the 4 principles that I've implemented in my business to help it grow, and it does sort of feel a little bit illegal. Number 1 is something I call the price and spit, and I'm personally embarrassed I didn't do this sooner. I should have done this from week 1, and you'd think it'd be common sense, but just hear me out. From day 1, my full valets were about £100, and that was a complete flat rate. So it didn't matter if it was a Fiat 500 or a Ford Transit van. It didn't matter. That was the flat rate, and I thought that price was fair because it covered a wide range, and you got everything that you asked for: a deep inside and a deep exterior clean. And the other thing that I thought as well is that customers would appreciate the simplicity. A flat rate for a one service, great, easily done. But what I was actually doing is basically telling my customer to expect the cheapest option and actually leaving upwards of 50-60% of potential revenue just on the table. So you'd get people arriving, taking the piss in a Ford Transit that's been absolutely battered, but because I've said it's £100, it's £100. And this basically is attracting a certain type of person which you don't want within your business. And the way to resolve this issue, if you're experiencing it yourself, is a very simple fix. You can split your service into 3 different tiers. So for example, you have a base tier, a middle tier, and a premium tier. The trick is to funnel as many people into the middle tier as possible. And especially in this line of work, people are looking for a good quality of work for a fair price. They're probably not going to get that in the base tier, because in the base tier you can explicitly outline this is what they're going to get and this is how long it's going to take. If the service takes half an hour, then they're not going to get the results you want. On the flip side to that, your premium tier, that would potentially be a full deep clean, probably dedicating your entire day to doing it, and that's basically leaving no stone unturned. And you might charge a premium price for that. Say for example, example, £250. Again, most people aren't going to do that. They're going to go for the middle option. And you can make it appealing by saying they can almost get every stone unturned, but it's at a fraction of the cost. People aren't breaking the bank for you to do that service for them, but they're also getting great value for the service that you would provide in the middle tier alone anyway. Put it this way, if you go on an aeroplane, you're not always going to fly business class. But at the same time, if you're going to fly in economy class, you don't want the worst seats on the plane. You might want exit row seats, for example, a little bit more leg room. That in your car detailing business should be the middle tier. The exit row on a plane. That should be the equivalent value. Tactic number 2 is the booking trap. I was actually semi-tempted not to include it in the video, but I think it's worth covering anyway because I know some of you will be suffering from this issue and it can save you a lot of time and money if you get this right. I'll just keep it simple. I took my phone number off my website. And I know that sounds stupid, but stay with me. And this sort of ties into the point I was talking about earlier. If people see a contact number, they're either likely to do one or two things: call you or text you. These two things take time away from me. You have a conversation, you quote to them, you try and remember to follow up at some stage, maybe write it down in your calendar while you're talking on the phone, try and grab their full name. Likelihood you've missed some sort of detail you might need to go back for at some point anyway. You go back to them, they give you the silent treatment, and you're back at square one without a booking. So what I do now, with no phone number, is there is a simple booking form on the website. If they want to book now, it takes them to the booking page where there is a form for them to complete. And it is that simple. You do not need your phone number there. When they submit that form, it goes straight into my CRM, goes straight into my calendar. The only thing they get after that is the deposit link and the booking is done. There's no back and forth, there's no price negotiation because I have the price calculator on my website, which every detailer should absolutely have. And if they do have any particular questions, they can always put it in the message section. But that's only after they've booked, after they've already submitted the booking form. Tactic number 3 is something I call the follow-up loop. And this is where a lot of detailers are leaving a lot of money on the table and they don't really realize. For example, if someone books with me and they go through our booking system, they're not just a customer one time, or at least they're not designed to be a customer for one time. So one day after the service being completed, they will get a message asking if they can leave a review on our Google page. 7 days after booking, I will ask them if they want to join our maintenance plan. And as I say, this is all automated. I don't do any of this. I don't touch it. This all runs in the background while I'm working on other cars, getting other customers. The main benefit of this, it doesn't turn a customer into a one-time customer. It turns them into a 5-6 time customer over the span of the year. So the lifetime value, the customer you're getting, just grows exponentially. And with that being the case, I don't actually need to spend a lot of time trying to get new customers because they're already there, they're in the system. They've submitted the booking form once and I've kept them there because they're in the follow-up loop. And once you get 50, 100 or even 150 people in that loop, you actually don't really need to market too much anymore because the loop is self-sufficient. It feeds itself. So again, it's about looking at the bigger picture, not just about getting that customer for the first time, it's about getting the customer for the second time and the third time and beyond that. Tactic number 4 is something I call the permission play. And it is very simple. And all I really do at the end of the job is ask one very simple question. Is it, can I use your car, these pictures, these videos for social media? More often than not, they're going to say yes. Their car looks great. You know, you'll blur out all the background, their house, their car edge, whatever that may be. But the rest of it is just pure marketing. You can use the photos before and afters, post that to your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever it may be. Just showcase that you've done a great transformation. The videos, you can actually film you doing the process, showing people the work that goes in and what's involved in getting the car just right. I made a TikTok account a few months back and I've only uploaded about 40 TikToks, but I've grown to 17,000 followers, which I appreciate is not too much. In the span of 40 TikToks, I've got over 100,000 likes. I've generated 2 million views. One video actually got 350,000 reviews. In that video on TikTok, I linked a scrub pad that I was using. And from the commission alone, I made £350 additional from a job that I was just marketing. £350 is more than what I charged for the actual job just by recording it. And it actually sort of ties into the previous tactic as well. As I said, it's a marketing tool. If you're getting people showing results, showing you can deliver a certain standard of work, then people are going to enter that funnel again. They're going to say, oh, that's a great result. I'm going to go for your booking system. And then they're in there, they live there. Now, if you're at this stage in the video and you're thinking, bloody hell, I need to start implementing these into my own business, then I actually have a free email series. So over the next 20 days, I'll give you 20 insights into my own business and what changes I made. And you can implement all those changes yourself completely for free. All you need to do is just sign up in the link below. Now, just before I wrap up, I just want to say, you're probably thinking about these, sort of thinking, how are these cheat codes? These are common practice. These are something that everyone should be doing. And that is true. I agree. But I think what most people miss is just by adding one or maybe two of these, but they're not adding all four. And I see it everywhere. Every detail I look, they might have a great booking system, but they don't ask clients a simple question at the end of the job is, can I post a picture of your car? They don't do it. So the reason why these four are a cheat code is because all four have to work in unison. You have to apply all four across your business. The tiers within your service are earning you more money because you're positioning yourself to do so. The booking form is completely filtering out time wasters. You're not getting any of that through your inbox anymore. The follow-up loop is keeping people in that cycle, keeping them engaged, making them think that they need more of the service you've already provided once. Maybe do it 2, 3 more times. And then after those jobs are done, you market it all and you funnel that all back into the business, and that feeds itself again. Now, if you do the math and stack all four of these, it's just multiplier on top of multiplier on top of multiplier. And that's how you grow exponentially. And this goes back to the exact point I said at the start of the video. Most detailers think in a linear mindset, like business just goes like that. You can make business ramp up in a vertical line just by making the smallest changes. The other people around your area are not more talented than you. They're just making changes to their business that you're not. And I've seen it in my own local area. None of these people are doing all four things. I am. And I get most of the customers. And I'm just playing the game. But they don't know how to play it on the same level that I do. So I reap the rewards for that. And you should too.